came across a lot of articles that was worth bringing to your attention. Of course, more noise than ever. But once again, I want to just share with you this visual aid behind me here, where you guys can see here, June 1st, as of now, based upon the current expenditures of our government, we will be in the negative. And it just seems that between the Congress being offered satellite phones in case of a disruptive event, what better way to, I guess, create or bring in or institute a event other than allowing this bipartisan left-right not being able to come to an agreement when something needs to be done. And the only thing that can be done is continue to kick the can down the road. So how hard is it to kick the can down the road? So once again, this is a strategically done bipartisan disruptive event that we're witnessing right now. And based upon this current balance sheet right here, if we get to the point where something is not paid and they have to go to some type of emergency measures, what better way to bring in a planned event outside of just the debt ceiling? Debt ceiling is just it's being used as an excuse to where governments can't come to an agreement so that they can trigger an event. And of course, I got some thoughts on what type of events we could be. And by satellite phones going out would let me know that it might be something to do with telecommunications, cyber event, you name it. So we'll get to that. But anyway, hope everyone's doing well. As always, won't be long. Just want to check in. I got 8 or 9 or so headlines, all worth all worth your attention, I believe, outside of what you guys have been already paying attention to. So for those who might be new to the community, welcome. My name is Mike, the host, RTD's #1 news update. And for those who are watching, hit that thumbs up button, show your support for the channel. Hopefully that helps more people get notified and be able to join and share their 2 cents, whether it be in the chat or when we do our live streams in the evening via the phones. So before I move forward, I want to make sure I acknowledge and make sure I just put everything out here. As I mentioned, hit that thumbs up button if you find any value here, just in case we're disrupted here. But we'll dive into that. So anyway, hope everyone's doing well. Let me just jump right into headlines, man. So here's something that caught my attention that I was not aware of until I think it was yesterday I saw this. And so right now with all this chat GTP, Midjourney, AI creation stuff, you can't really tell what's real. And I think as of now, yesterday, a alleged explosion by the Capitol building led to the markets tanking just slightly. And of course it recovered, but they're going to use this as a way of saying that we need to impose restrictions, regulation on this technology because it can be disruptive in and of itself. But here's something, and just from what I gathered, it was fact-checked by a major news source, but it just flew by the radar. But this was as of last week, but it all has to do with what's currently going on now, I think. And it says American flag upside down over U.S. Capitol. And so as I scroll through this, so this came from a DC Drano who has a pretty large following. He's a social media person, but he posted a picture last week of what looks like here the American flag flown upside down. And of course, whenever the flag is flown upside down, it's a sign of distress. And God knows our country, this globe, this planet is in distress right now due to the craziness going on. But real quick here, it says U.S. flag currently flying upside down over Senate building, signaling distress and needing rescue. Oops, let me go.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7 and verse 2. Also, thou son of man, thus saith Yahweh power unto the land of Israel, an end, the end is come upon the 4 corners of the land. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send mine anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abomination. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect. This is Brother Yerushalayim coming back at you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. The name of this one is Debt Ceiling Crash to Trigger an Emergency Event. Alright? Debt ceiling crash to trigger an emergency event. And really what's going on, what's that? A sign of the end. A sign of the end. The end of what? The end of an era, an age. The age of Babylon the Great. Mystery Babylon. Alright? because Babylon is going to be taken down gradually by the Lord, and that's what's happening right now. But one of the main ways Babylon is going to be taken down first is financially, economically. All right, you know, which is what RTD, the guy RTD was talking about. You know, this is how they're going to be taken down first and foremost. All right, they're going to be taken down financially. All right, with all this debt ceiling talks that they're talking in the Senate and whatnot, the American Senate, you know, saying that you know Republicans and the Democrats have different opinions, but the Republicans don't want to spend as much money, more conservative, and the Democrats want to spend. It's all bullshit. There's two heads on the same beast. All right, playing games, you know, to create what a planned event through what an emergency situation. Right, so what they seem to be aiming to is to let the debt ceiling reach and let the whole system crash. All right, because believe this whole system is gonna crash if that happens. All right, it's gonna have a lot of domino effects triggering down. A lot of people are gonna lose their jobs. All right, you know, it's gonna cause hyperinflation. All right, you know, like inflation on steroids. All right. Now we know about these things. Let's get the meaning of that hyperinflation. Hyperinflation. Here we go. Hyperinflation is generally defined as price increases of 50% or more per month. Okay, so a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. A lot of people, they're not going to be able to afford, even if you have a job, to afford to pay rent. Okay. You know, and then meanwhile, you know, BlackRock and these companies and you know busy buying up all the rental properties. All right, you know, raising the value of properties. Okay, so everything is gonna crash. The stock market's gonna crash, right? The real estate market's gonna crash. You know, the bond market is gonna crash, right? Nobody's gonna want to buy any U.S. bonds anymore. All right, so the whole system is going down. Right, they handing out satellite phones, right? So it seems to me that they're gonna have, as the guy was saying, a potential cyber attack, telecommunications attack. All right, you know, and ironically, I believe he says that in this video, or was another video I was looking at, where they were saying that you know there was some great amount of explosives that went missing, some is it ammonium nitrate? I can't remember the chemical, but it's an explosive chemical. All right, and it went missing, a large amount. You know, so don't be surprised if they blow up a few of these electrical stations, all right, and there's a mass power outage, you know, and they blame it on Russia and China, all right, but really and truly, it's these elites destroying, taking down America. They don't want any part of it anymore. They going to China, they're going to Russia, they're going to India, right? As the Rabbi Finkelstein said, you know, they're through with America. America is through, pretty much. So they're busy dismantling her. All right? But you have these foolish jakes, you know, and these other heathens, and they believing in America, believing that they know it's going to last forever. All right? But it's not. So let's read that. Let's go back to that precept in Ezekiel 7. Ezekiel 7, I'll start at verse 3. It says, Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send mine anger upon thee, and I will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. And mine eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abominations shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. They're gonna know is the Lord doing it. All right, when all these things happening, all right, because when all these things crash, it's going to bring in everything. It's going to bring in the famine. It's going to bring in the sword, sedition. People are going to be hungry. All these things, you know. Money is a defense. Right? The scripture says that. So they're busy taking away defense. Let's go. Money is a defense. Let's see if we can get that. Oh shit. This shit. Let's type it in here. Money. Let's get this one first. Ecclesiastes 10 and 19. That's the spirit. right? Ecclesiastes 10 and 19. And this is why money is so important. Right? Yeah, but not to love money. This is Ecclesiastes 10 and 19. A feast is made for laughter, and wine maketh merry. But money answereth all things. Right? Money gives everything. Food, clothes, shelter. Right? Even women. Right? But he's simple as, Negroes here, And this is what it is. Right? Right? Let's go this. Wisdom is a defense. Right. Let's get Ecclesiastes 7 and 12. Ecclesiastes 7, chapter 7, verse 12. Right? For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. So money is a defense. Right? But it's not a defense that can save you ultimately. Because why? They can take that away from you, which is what they're doing, which is what they're planning with their CBDC even more so. Right? First destroy the paper dollar. Right? You're going to cast your money in the streets. And then what? Come with this CBDC. Right? That's why it continues here and says, but the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. Right? Wisdom and knowing the Lord ways, knowing how to please him, knowing to fear the Lord. Right? The fear of the Lord is a treasure. Right? Isaiah 33 and 6. Right? Wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of these times that's coming up here. That's plain and simple. You can't get more plain than that. All right? It's going to be a whole mess. Now let's go to the book of Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 8. Let's start at verse 8 and read down. It says, and it shall come to pass in the day of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's sacrifice. The Lord is sacrificing America. America is a giant altar. Right? He's going to sacrifice these jakes, 2/3 of Jake. Right? Right? And I will punish the princes and the king's children. Right? The Israelites. And all such that are clothed with strange apparel, all these pagan, wicked customs, worshipping Cesare Borgia, aka Jesus the Christ. Right? I hate that name. Right? And in the same day, also I will punish all those that leap on the threshold there who participate in these pagan worship ceremonies. These call it mass, which mass means death, right, in Roman Catholicism, right? Which fill their master's house with violence and deceit, right? These jakes, they're wicked as hell, right? And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate, the stock markets, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hill. Well, a domino effect. A crashing from all these world markets, world stock markets, okay? All these governments, and they stock the different fiat currency systems, which all them mostly world currency based on fiat anyway, which has no value really. All right, all of that gonna fall, all that gonna fall down, right? Fall flat, and they're gonna come with what the CBDC, which going into the NWO, right? Which gonna be accomplished through what that CHIP, that RFID CHIP, which is the MOTTB, right? That Revelation 13 and 16. Right, and shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their lees, right? The men who complacent in their wickedness and their sins, right? That say in their heart, the Lord will not do good, neither will he do evil. And this is a lot what Jake is saying, but they're going to pay for that, right? They're going to pay for that. The effect of every vision is not going to fail, all right? Let's get Book of Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 2. It says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision, and not only reading, he that understand it, right? For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And these prophecies coming hot and heavy. Hot and heavy, right? We've seen that. We've seen World War III being built up too, right? It's right at the doorstep, which is going to happen most likely right after the CHIP, the MOTB is launched, all right? So these jakes, they in for a hard time, but don't come running to us, when shit hit the fan. This is Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse 13. Therefore their goods shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation, right? The property gonna be plundered and ransacked by these jakes, who gonna be moving around as crowds and killing, raping, pillaging, and destroying. All right. So how we gonna where you gonna get that? You can go to the get the book of Second Ezra, the 15th chapter. We can start at verse 15. It says, "For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands, guns in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another." Yeah, going into your house, like what we just read, right? "They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able," right? You're going to have different things, military roadblocks, all these things like that, right? "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity on his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods." Come and take your food, your clothes, all right, your wife, your daughters, all right? Spoil them, you know what that means, right? Spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. This is what's happening. All right, this is what's going to happen. Right now, continuing Zephaniah 1, right, and verse 13, I read over there, "For their good shall become a booty," where we just read that, "and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. The great day of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is near, it is near and hasted greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly." Right? And this is what's happening. You know? That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. Right? And the chariots, they're showing themselves now more than ever. But this is what's happening. The Lord is going to take down the whole system, the whole economic system, right? And Jake is going to suffer, but Jake relying wholeheartedly on this devil system. Now let's get the book of Ezekiel. Go back into Ezekiel chapter 7. Read from verse 15. Right? It reads, "The sword is without, and pestilence and famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him." This is what's going to happen to you, right? Famine, disease, the sword, right? The gun, right? "But they that escape of them shall escape, and shall be in the mountains like doves of the valley, and all of them mourning every one of his iniquity," right? We're going to be doing that too, right? Right? "All hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water." This is how Jake not going to be strong. All them Jakes who feel like they know is top G, all right? You're going to be brought low. But guess what? That money that you have in the bank and the cars and the house going to be worthless. Verse 18, "They shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them, and shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon all their heads." They're going to be in pain. That's why the scriptures say they're going to be running from east to west, all over the place looking for the men of the Lord, right, to hear this word. But it's going to be too late. Verse 19 says, "They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed." Right, so they're going to cast their paper money in the streets, and the gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. "They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity." Yeah, these Jakes creed, they love money, love carnal things. But the Lord is molding the elect in a different way. All right? All right, now let's get one more scripture and close this out. Let's get the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 50. Start the 22nd verse. It says, "A sound of battle is in the land," right? Sound of battle, right? Basically, it's a sound of pain, destruction, right? Sedition, people invading one another, violence, all right? "And of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken, America? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nation?" Make no mistake about it. This happening, this death ceiling crash, if it comes, it's going to be like nothing you ever seen before. All right? It's going to be like nothing you ever seen before. All right? And that's just the facts. Listen to this. Listen to this one.
Doomsday is 10 days away, possibly. June 1st is the day that everyone fears that the U.S. might default on its debt. And it's unfortunate that as of right now, we have two individuals that are the focal point for this debt ceiling negotiation: the Biden regime and House Speaker McCarthy. Two people control the fate of this country, even though it's no solution whatsoever. It's a matter of passing a bill that will determine how much more fiat currency they can create just to pay previous obligations, not about the future, previous obligations. If this isn't a sign for the world to realize that there is no hope left in political leadership in this country, I don't know what is. Be your own bank, put your faith in God, love your neighbor, and do the best you can to help others.
You know, Jake not sure what to do, right? You have to have faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? Get a true name. Let's go back here. The whole, you know, it's going to be the end, right? Right? If that happens, it's going to be the end. Jeremiah 50 and verse 24, I have laid a snare for thee, a trap, and thou art also taken, O Babylon. Right? Lord said a trap for them. And thou wast not aware, thou art found, and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You fought against the Lord. You took captive his people, and he never let us go. Right? You get that in the same I believe the same chapter. When you go down to I believe verse 33. It says what? And thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were pressed together right here in Babylon. Right in Babylon, and you know, and the country surrounding her. Right? You know, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. So what do you expect to receive from the Lord? A hug and a kiss? No. Destruction and death. Right? You touch the apple of the Lord's eye. Right? So let me read this over, Jeremiah 50 and 24. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found, and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. The Lord hath opened his armory, and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation, right? First and foremost, to destroy your currency. That's why the BRICS, China, Russia, Brazil, and all these other countries now, they're creating their own global world reserve currency, which is going to kill America. So when this debt ceiling crash, if and when it happens, okay, all right, it will be a good time for China and Russia and these other countries now, you know, to dump all the US dollars, which they have huge amounts of US dollars. In fact, most of the amounts of US dollars are outside America, right? To dump it into America, all right? To dump it back, just sell it off. They don't want it, which is going to cause massive hyperinflation, all right? Massive hyperinflation. But they're going to create their own currency backed by gold and rare earth minerals, which is real money, all right? So it's going to be a mess, all right? It's going to be a mess, a huge mess, all right? That they won't be able to come back from, all right? They won't be able to come back from it. Now let's get Jeremiah 51 and verse 8. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain head. The balm, all that stimulus money you pump into the economy, all that deficit money, all right, it's not going to help, right? Take balm for pain, if so she may be healed, right? We would have healed Babylon, but she's not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and it's lifted up even to the sky. A lot of people are going to be running out of a Babylon America. Those who can, all right? Those who can, when the shit goes down. All right, Jeremiah 50, verse 25. The Lord has opened up his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of Yahweh, power of hosts, in the land of the Chaldees, right? You know, come forth, come against her from the utmost border. Open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly, right? All these nations going to do that. Let nothing of her be left. And when these nations come together and they decide to do this, they're going to go all out. Because they're not going to want, they're going to be afraid that any part of America survives, that they can have retribution on them. So they're going to go all out and launch all what they have. Right? Verse 27, slay all her bullocks, let them go down to slaughter. Yeah, all of your tanks and your artillery. Woe unto them, for the day is come, the time of their visitation. The voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, our power, the vengeance of his temple, like the elect. Right? The Lord gonna let the elect escape. Only elect gonna escape out of that place. Right? Call together the archers against Babylon. Right? All the archers are the ones nations who have the ICBM nuclear missile capabilities. Right? The missiles, the ICBM missiles are like unto arrows. Right? All ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about, let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she had done, do unto her. For she had been proud against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, against the Holy One of Israel. Right? And she gonna be destroyed. Right? Thus it was written. Right? So pay attention, keep your eyes open, watch and pray. Right? You know, the shit's about to go down. Alright? So with that, I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect. Till next time, Abad Babal and Shalom.